What time is it? It's nation time.
Greetings and welcome, welcome to the AfterWords program. I'm Baba Kafense, your host, joined by Reverend Erica Naretti Bryant. Today, she is the presenter about this week's sermon, Unbothered. Welcome to the AfterWords program, Reverend Naretti. How are you?
I'm good. I hope you are well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I would like to wish you and all the sisters viewing our broadcast this weekend a happy Mother's Day to all of our sisters. The
Thank
scripture
you.
You're welcome. The scripture from today's sermon comes from Psalms chapter 46, verse 5, and it reads, God is in the midst of her. She will not be made to totter. God will help her at daybreak. And the sermon is titled Unbothered. And early in the sermon, you explained by unbothered is an intentional decision not to be consumed by all that is going on. That is a huge distraction. But more poignantly, what would your message be to those of us that are overwhelmed, nevertheless, by these distractions? I mean, what would you say? Because some of us can't simply just shake it off and say, okay, I'm going to be unbothered. Speak to those people, please.
I would say try. One of the ways that you can try to reduce the overwhelm is to connect with community. And it may sound very simple, but to engage in some basic self-care practices, get enough rest, drink water, take deep breaths, meditate, and pray. It's not that I am asking people who are overwhelmed to find ways to escape it or to avoid that the problems exist, but to make an intentional decision and a concerted effort to not let the noise that's clamoring all around us to distract us from our true purpose and our God-given destiny.
Thank you very much. And of course, as you go into the sermon, you present examples of how we operated in similar times such as these. But you also in the sermon offer a gift to our children, which you explain is the idea that we have triumphed before and we shall do so again. There's many young people today that have no connection or understanding of our historical struggle and the historical sacrifices. So how do we convey that to them beyond asserting it?
Well, asserting it is important. Speaking their names is important. Remembering our foremothers is important. But I also think that it's important to connect their legacies to our present day circumstance. And yes, we should immerse our children in the history and the facts, especially in this day and time where there are so many efforts to erase our history and our culture and our identity. But I believe that children hear what we say, but they pay close attention to what we do. And so it is in the doing, I think, where we have the most impact. And if we're running around stressed and overwhelmed and frustrated, our children pick up on that very easily and it impacts them. But if they see us moving with a calm mind and a courageous spirit, and that they see us intentionally doing the work without letting the necessity for the work to pull us under, then that gives them reason to hope and it gives them powerful examples to emulate in their own lives as they continue to grow.
Thank you for that. You also say in the sermon something, and these are my words, that you referenced the election last year and how we came together to kind of do the right thing. And you also say in this context of being unbothered, that we're shifting or have shifted our focus away from other people's agenda. And you kind of contextualize it in the idea that we're putting our faith into action. Say more of what it means for us to put our faith in action. What does that look like?
Well, that to me, that looks like building those things that our community needs and providing safe spaces and resources for our community. Um, for Black women, and I don't want to exclude the brothers. I just want to speak very quickly to the sisters. Black women have always, I believe, labored under this notion that we must be super women and we have to go out and save people, and that um, we have to, sacrifice our whole selves in order to be worthwhile. And that's not to say that we don't have power as women, because we do. And it's not to say that we shouldn't use our power as women, which we do. But for me, there comes a point in time where we've done the work, we've tried to engage others in doing the work of making the world better, not just for Black people, but for everyone. And the election last year showed us that our efforts were largely in vain. So now that the world is the way it is right now and people are looking to be rescued, I believe Black women should be very comfortable in saying our job is to not rescue those people who refuse to listen to us in the first place. Our job is to figure out how to best take care of the people who are in our immediate circle of influence. And those would be our partners and our children and our elders and our community. And so that's where I believe our faith in action lies, because we know that God's got us. We know this is, and we may not always remember it consciously because of the overwhelm, but history has shown us time and time again that we're going to be okay. In fact, we're going to be more than okay, but our ability to be okay does not need to be tied to the world at large's willingness to listen to our God-given wisdom and to follow our divine leadership.
Thank you for that. And could you elaborate on how the programs of the Pan-African Orthodox Christian Church help to prepare us for this place that you assert that we're in, of being unbothered yet focused on solving our problems? How does the church prepare us to do that and sustain us to be in that place of effectiveness?
Well, our church takes a multifaceted approach. The first facet is self-development. We have to focus on being our best selves individually, which goes to finding ways to silence the noise and clear the clutter so that we can actually hear the voice of God. And then once we are, or at the same time, because it's not a before or after or chicken and egg, but at the same time, we are working to make the world better for our community. And so as we are working on ourselves, we're providing vital service. We're reaching out with food pantries. We are reaching out and touching brothers and sisters who are behind the wall. we are attending to our sick and shut in with our call to care ministries. We are operating spaces and places where people can buy Black, which is not simply about buying from Black people because they are Black, but about building our own economies with people who value what we value. And this church values the worth and dignity of Black people, not to the exclusion of the worth and value of other people, but that we value ourselves and we love ourselves enough to invest in building those institutions and organizations that serve our people. And by serving our people, other people do benefit, but we do put an emphasis on our community and what our community needs.
Thank you very much. And unfortunately, we're out of time. Is there any maybe short message or something I overlooked that you might like to leave our viewers with on this Mother's Day weekend?
My closing remark would be, keep celebrating. Joy is resistance. So keep learning boots on the ground and all of the line dances that give us moments of respite as we continue to do the work of liberating Black people.
Thank you very much for a powerful sermon and this insightful conversation. I'd like to thank our viewers for tuning in as well and urge you to continue to check us out at Bilakuta with a sermon every Sunday morning and an insightful conversation that follows immediately after. And I'd like to close with the words of our patron saint, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Up, you mighty race, and accomplish what you will.
What time is it? It's nation time.